Kamsa, Navalenge. Welcome back to my daily Tezo briefing. Without wasting any time, let's dive straight to the only daily Tibetan Parliament session highlight available in English. Chaired by Honorable Speaker Kimbustam Tempela, the 11th and the last day of the 17th Tibetan Parliament in Exile's 7th session, the budget session, commenced at 9:30 a.m. as scheduled. The session began with the third reading and the approval or ratification of the legislative procedure on the various proposed amendments to the Charter of the Tibetans in Exile, the rules and regulations on the Central Election Commission, rules and regulation on the Public Service Commission, rules and regulation on the Office of the Auditor General, rules and regulations for honorarium, daily allowances, and other entitlements of the Tibetan parliamentarians, rules and regulations for the salaries and the other allowances for the Auditor General of the Office of the Auditor, rules and regulation on the recognition of official programs for the parliamentarians, and finally the rules, the regulation for the Soarikwa Association. The Tezo then proceeded with the tabling of the official motion and majority approval to the appointment of the 12th Committee on Public Accounts, that's Mount Sita Sokchung, to review the audit reports for the fiscal year of 2020-2021. Subsequently, another official motion was unanimously passed to appoint members for an ad hoc committee, Chizu Sokchung, to review the proposed amendments on the rules and regulations for the parliamentary procedure and conduct of business of the Tibetan Parliament in Exile. That's Pima Machidul Hanzo ki Sodutulu Ledun Checho ki Dikshi. Then, as per the list of revised businesses, the revised Appropriation Act of 2023 to 2024 and the Appropriation Act of 2024 to 2025 were presented by Honorable Deputy Speaker Thomas Tenkhala and supported by the Chair of the Budget Estimate Committee. That while the revised Appropriation Act was passed unanimously, the Appropriation Act was passed with majority in the House. As per document number 42, the revised Appropriation Act of 2023 to 2024, authorized the issue and appropriation of a total of 3,451,393,999 Indian rupees for the expenditure. Then the annual budget and the interim budget were proposed to made from the consolidated fund for the previous fiscal year on that. And then, as per the document number 43, the Appropriation Act of 2024 to 2025, it introduces to provide for an appropriation out of the consolidated fund a total amount of 3,301,022,234 Indian rupees. That would be for the annual budget expenditure proposed, that amount. Then Honorable Speaker, in his concluding remarks, thanked the members of the House for active participation and cooperation during the session. He further informed the other official resolutions and pertinent decisions taken in this session. He reminded the members of the Parliament in the need of improving our participation by following the rules and regulations, procedure and conduct as we proceed our deliberations in the Parliament House. Then, with the authorization of the appropriation fund of 3,322,234 Indian rupees for the annual budget expenditure, he reminded Kasha and the civil servants of its optimum and efficient utilization and management. He commended the work by the Rules and Regulation Review Committee, that's Chirsi Sokchung and Kasha for the correction amendment proposals, which actually directed the successful passage of most, if not all, legislative amendment proposals this session. Courts also highlighted on the settlement visitation program and the individual bill proposal this session to retreat the ongoing resolution of the program. He advised the cooperation of the people and the administration with the parliamentarians for its productive implementation on which revolves around the overall welfare of the people, whether it's on education, health, or the rehabilitation of the Tibetan diaspora. Then honorables also stressed on the upcoming Tibet advocacy programs by Tibetan Parliament in Exile in Europe and other parts of the world this fiscal year in cooperation with the administration and the officers of Tibet. Similarly, in India, as the nation heads for a fresh election in June, resulting in possible change of the members of the parliament in both the houses, both the sabhas, he emphasized the importance of revival and sustainability of all-party Indian Parliamentary Forum for Tibet, APIPFT, Tibet advocacy programs in India that which is in accordance with the Charter of the Tibetans in Exile to endeavor to achieve the common goal of Tibet, as we call it, Pögidenta setup ki besoin chagyu in our charter. He expressed his strong objection to China's repressive policy, which is extending further beyond its occupied territory, evidently. He added that China has failed to cater any form of positive result in our appeals for human rights justice or its will for unconditional dialogue with the representatives of His Holiness. Hence, until there is an evidence of change in the policy, our advocacies shall continue and expand. So with that, this session today adjourns in Adaya at 10:40 a.m. This is it for this session. I hope that I was able to give you a prime highlight of the session, the 7th session of the 17th Tibetan Parliament in Exile. As I always say, is so significant and paramount that the people stay updated with what's going on in the government, what are the matters that we are able to raise in the parliament, or the kasha able to implement for the people. So all I want to say is, again, know your leaders, know your elected leaders, know your democracy, know your exiled government, and be a much more active member of the exiled democratic community. So this is all for today. Tharin daran sam shari Jimmy Tresol Jeyong. This letter.